SwarmForce, a platform for harnessing and amplifying collective intelligence. Ants aren't smart. Ant colonies are. Deborah M. Gordon. What is collective intelligence? Collective intelligence is the new enhanced intelligence that emerges when individuals work together in the right way. We see it in ants, bees, birds, and people. Humanity has spent thousands of years amplifying everything except creative intelligence. The next great technology is a better way for humans to think together at scale and solve problems in groups. Most people think crowds are dumb. They can be when we have bad systems. But under the right conditions, groups routinely outperform experts. Collective intelligence is real, testable, and likely the most powerful force you have never heard of. A brain of brains. Each person acts as one node of one larger superbrain. When constructed properly, this new brain isn't just a sum of the individual brains. It is exponentially larger. So that means if each person's brain weighs 1 pound and you combine them together, the new brain, if there's 20 people, would not just weigh 20 pounds. It might weigh 100 pounds or 500 pounds or more. The new brain that is formed in a collective intelligence swarm can do anything an individual brain can do. It can create, criticize, conjecture, solve problems, predict things, run systems, and create new knowledge for humanity. Collective swarm intelligence already exists, and it has been tested. For example, swarms of 10 doctors outperform individual doctors diagnosing patients by a whopping 30%. That means if they are diagnosing patients whose lives could have been saved that day with the correct diagnosis, they would have saved 30% more lives. Also, swarms of 20 people taking an IQ test double the average IQ score compared to any individual in the crowd. Also, swarms of 20 horse racing fans correctly predicted the superfecta of the Kentucky Derby. That's the first 4 horses in a row, where a $20 bet won $11,400. None of the individual fans in that swarm predicted it on their own correctly, but working together as a unit, they correctly predicted it in real time, and the woman from Newsweek reporting on it tweeted out her bet. She bet what the swarm picked, and it won. So she won $11,400, and so did anybody else who bet what the swarm picked. What we lack are the right systems to extract creativity from crowds. We're missing the technology. Outside of archaic voting methods, we have never built a platform specifically designed to maximize how large groups think together, create new knowledge, solve problems, or make decisions as one unit. Now, yes, there are some systems made. Dr. Rosenberg has made some awesome systems, and they do help extract knowledge from crowds. But creativity in a platform where you can freely organize with people and work in groups, that has never been created. And that's what we're trying to create here. Introducing SwarmForce. SwarmForce is the operating system for collective intelligence. It's a platform that helps groups generate ideas, make better decisions using confidence scores, not voting. So a confidence score, you'd ask the whole crowd, how confident are you that we should proceed with this change or new law or this business idea? And you shoot for a really high confidence score. We're voting right now, like we vote in politics, 51% control the other 49. This is bad. 51% confidence score is the worst confidence score you can get. What you want is really strong one way or the other. Also, these platforms like SwarmForce can help you challenge assumptions, build on each other's knowledge, and criticize without ego. So the way it works is you become anonymous while solving problems. You are high trust beforehand, so you know that the people are all real in the group. This is important. You have to make sure there's no AI and bots in the system, or you're face-to-face. But then when you actually solve the problem, everyone turns anonymous. Why? Because when you're anonymous, there's nobody that's going to have a strong personality overcoming, persuading people. Everyone is just their own answers. Their own answers stand alone, and each person has the same amount of space or time to answer. So there's not going to be strong personalities, or let's say your boss was in the group, or a celebrity was in the group, or you have these subgroups like Democrats and Republicans and things like this, these labels. Everything disappears, even your sex, your name, everything. So you're completely anonymous. And this way, The group can criticize without ego. This is a key component, and it was found during the Delphi method in like the 1960s. This has been around a while, but no one's really ever used it, and we're revisiting it now. Also, a good system like Swarm Force avoids the perils sometimes found in groups, such as echo chambers and groupthink. So you can basically think of this as infrastructure for collective human thinking. This system, we start in the real world. Every week, people are already gathering, right? We have community groups, nonprofits, businesses, universities, coffee clubs, entrepreneur meetups, hackathons, research teams. We can bring the software, we already have it developed, to the point where we can do this in-person meetups. A couple hundred people, you ask a room a question and you want a creative answer from the room. Everyone scans a QR code off the screen and they enter into a swarm on an app. So this is already possible. Building a platform is much bigger scale that we don't have the funds for yet. We're trying to do this kind of organically, grassroots. We try to be transparent with everyone. We have well over $100,000 already into this and really no way to recover it. We're just trying to show people that this works by building the platform. If we build a bigger platform as humanity, if we decide to, we probably have to build something together. That is the idea to grow this, is get a bunch of people that believe in the idea and we all kind of throw in a little bit of time or money or energy and grow the whole thing. But right now we can already do this in the real world. This is already there. It turns every gathering into a creative intelligence network. It's really cool to see. So you can turn any room into one big giant brain and then have a conversation with it. So if you want to have a conversation with your business and see what your business really feels about you as the owner, or really feels about the marketplace, or a conversation with your customers, or a conversation with your community, or your conversation with your colleagues at your university, or your friends at your coffee club, or other entrepreneurs, or anyone in a hackathon, you're trying to play a game together and you're on the same team, this lets you talk as one unit. That is what you're doing. You're creating a device that allows you to communicate with a whole group as one. Eventually, the plan is to build a full problem-solving platform. And it's going to have to mix IRL, real life, in real life, IRL, with URL, digital convenience. And IRL, why? Because of trust. If I meet you face-to-face, I know you're a real person. And on the platform, we'll have a way to basically decentralize verification of trust between people. I vouch for you. Yep, I know you. You're in my coffee club. I also train jiu-jitsu with you, and you're my brother. So I give you a vouch or a badge or something like this. You give me one, and I leave you a review. This will, for the most part, lock AI and bots out of our systems, because I'll know if I didn't give a badge to someone and they have one from me, and you'll have a way to challenge it. So you build that high trust local circles, small circles, and then connect them on a digital platform and create a big network. So you mix IRL and URL. It's kind of like a social problem solving platform. It's not really social media, it's social problem solving. And we can do this for solving problems in businesses, communities, states, groups, whatever you can think of, it can be done. The technology behind this platform already follows the new and emerging science behind collective swarm intelligence, group problem solving, and group psychology. There's actually many books about this phenomenon, many more being written right now. And our platforms are going to be part of that new cutting edge technology that researchers are going to be done on, and will be part of new studies going forward. Some of these principles for collective intelligence to emerge are decentralization, radical transparency, anonymity when solving problems, independence, independent thought, and protecting the individual and individual rights if it gets to the government stage of things, a way to aggregate answers, which is what this platform specifically does, and confidence scores. So confidence scores are the way to make decisions. We don't make decisions by voting. We make decisions with confidence scores. How high of a confidence score is required to make a decision? Well, the group decides that as well. But we like to set it really high in the beginning, 90%, 95%, something like that. Imagine talking to the whole room, the whole business, the whole city, or the whole world as one giant, creative, super intelligent brain. That is possible with a collective intelligence system like SwarmForce. In fact, with the properly designed platform, you could get one interesting, creative, and wise answer from the whole world, billions of people, in less than an hour. A new scientific discipline. We believe collective intelligence deserves the same serious attention as computer science, economics, psychology. This is more than just software. It's a laboratory, a research platform, a community, and a movement dedicated to discovering how humanity thinks best together. This, we believe, is a new breakthrough, and the people that are using it for business right now, almost all of them are having success. The people that are really allowing their employees and customers to steer the businesses, you should see some of the results that are happening. It's truly amazing. Humans solve problems better in high-trust groups. Or in other words, collective intelligence amplifies knowledge creation, epistemology. And there's tons of new knowledge. We don't claim to know everything, but we claim to understand that it's real, it's testable, and there are ways to harness it that we're understanding seem to work really good. And we want to share that with everyone. Collective intelligence systems reduce fallibility and increase the speed at which humanity creates new knowledge, kind of the same way that calculators and computers reduce errors and accelerate computation. When you use a collective intelligence system, it's going to reduce the errors and increase the speed in which you make new ideas come to life. And it's the same way that a computer is less fallible than a person doing math, doing computation. Calculators are better than people, and supercomputers are better than calculators. The computation stays the same, and the systems alter the speed, alter the fallibility. And the same thing is true with collective intelligence systems. You're going to reduce fallibility, the number of errors that the people make, and you're going to increase the speed in which humanity creates that new knowledge. Keep in mind, there's two fundamentally different kinds of knowledge. So people will get in this argument like, oh, AI is better than people. Yes, for existing knowledge, what is already known. Like if I asked a whole bunch of people who won the World Series in 1942, the existing knowledge in an AI would be much faster to respond than people and more accurate. But if we're creating genuinely new explanations, theories, discoveries, and solutions, any kind of new idea, people do that. All of the knowledge inside an AI or large language model was created by people, including the knowledge of how to make the AI language model. Humans create that new explanatory knowledge, and when we work together in well-designed systems that preserve independence, diversity, criticism, and transparency, our capacity to create is enhanced. Well-designed systems multiply our creative power. Our long-term vision: every city has a swarm, every university, every company, every nonprofit, every research lab, every government, millions of people solving problems together using shared tools, shared knowledge, and shared intelligence. The only thing required for you to be part of a swarm to help solve the problem is for you to understand the problem. And it does not require expertise. It may require some understanding or learning about the particular problem. In fact, a lot of times, creative solutions come way out of left field. You're not required to be an expert to solve a problem. You're just required to understand the problem. Also, it should be voluntary, of course, which is why we want to have a platform where you can post problems, be parts of groups, and choose to join those groups and solve problems in groups. The opportunity. The greatest competitive advantage of the 21st century will not be having the smartest individual. It will be building the smartest systems for groups. SwarmForce exists to build those systems. Every important institution depends on groups making good decisions. Businesses, governments, universities, hospitals, scientific teams, nonprofits, communities. And almost none of these use systems specifically designed to harness or amplify collective intelligence. In fact, most of them don't even know what collective intelligence is. And even the ones that are using it don't know that it's a thing. Unlike traditional top-down systems, well-designed collective intelligence systems are very hard to corrupt because you have to corrupt all of the individual nodes in order to corrupt the whole thing. They're anti-fragile, and they outperform hierarchical systems when given tests of top-down versus decentralized systems. This is testable. We can test a system, a group of people versus individuals, and on average, the groups are going to win a lot more than the top-down or individuals are. A nice, simple example to give you a clear picture. We always talk about, there used to be a TV show called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And you could call an expert or call a friend, or you could poll the audience. And the audience was right well over 90% of the time, where phoning a friend was less than 60% of the time. Now, that's not a good scientific experiment. There's a lot of variables there, but it gives you a general idea of what we're talking about here. Which opens up the door for systems where groups can safely pool money and resources and decide how to spend it together as one group. This interests us a lot. The idea of let's all take $20 a month and throw it in the middle. If there's 1 million of us, that's $20 million. and we decide together how to spend that. One group, safe, transparent, where we have the power to actually do things. We can make our own media companies. We can build our own playgrounds if we want. We can start our own businesses. And we can do this using something called a PMA. A PMA is a private membership association, but we'll talk about that later. Another idea is we could run brand new leaderless systems such as DAOs, businesses, or even governments, where the group decides everything in a decentralized manner, from setting a code of conduct, to hiring employees, to making new laws, and more. Collective intelligence is a highly underdeveloped scientific and technological frontier. This isn't another app. It's a whole new category of scientific discovery and development that can be enhanced with better systems. Join us. We're not building another social network. We're building the infrastructure for the next era of human collaboration. SwarmForce, the operating system for human collective intelligence. Thank you.